Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Michelle Azugwu and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time. And rebroadcast on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Well, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Reverend Jeannie. How are you?
Good morning, Reverend Dr. Michelle. Good morning.
Oh, sorry.
I can't. This is odd. I'm in a weird spot right here.
I think that maybe we're in the wrong spot. Hey, ladies, welcome.
Hi.
Just checking in. I think maybe
What's better?
I think you have my stole on.
Yes. What do you mean?
Because I'm not Reverend Dr. Michelle. I'm Reverend Jeannie.
I thought I was Reverend Jeannie.
No,
I
that
wore
was
it better. I'm sorry. I wore
she
it
really
better.
did. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out the pictures of when I was Michelle and Michelle was me, please do so.
It's on our Facebook group.
It's on our Facebook group.
And then you can decide who wore it better.
Yes.
Please vote. There's
Yeah.
a picture of me as Jeannie and Jeannie as Jeannie.
And
I still
apparently, everybody
I'm
thinks she
number
did
one.
it better. All righty, lady.
All right, let's switch. Let's get back to.
Let's
I can't even
switch.
talk to her from this point of view.
Right, I know. There we go.
Wrong angles and everything.
Tell ya, it was weird being on the wrong side of the sofa.
It was.
Yeah, I will say. So
And we got our new stoles.
we have
We
our
are
new
official
stoles.
today, boys
Yes.
and girls.
it is
So-
very, very cool.
And you can tell we've been together for the past several days.
Yes. These are our new T-shirts from Unity Village. They say, "My spirit sparkles."
Sparkles.
And I will say that after a week at Unity Village, everything was sparkling.
Yes.
It was just an amazing time period. If you've never been to Unity Village, please go.
Yes.
Oh
my goodness.
Now, I recommend that you go next year at the ANTN conference. But if for whatever reason that's not your time period to go, yeah, give me back mine. Thank you. She's drinking my hot chocolate. I recommend that you go. They have a hotel there. The grounds are amazing. Amazing grounds.
Yes.
I want to
Labyrinth.
the labyrinth.
Labyrinth was very, as always, it's such a spectacular
Yes.
experience. It's beautiful, but I mean, just to have that experience of walking their labyrinth is, it's worth the whole trip, really.
Yeah, we did the labyrinth Tuesday night. It was candlelit.
And I did it Friday morning,
There you go.
because I didn't
You
get
got
there
it.
until Wednesday, so.
And then Wednesday, I'd done my power talk at Anton after.
Standing
Well,
ovation, people.
It was
Uh-huh.
awesome. It was
Really
really awesome.
Well, she does it. We'll put that recording out as soon as.
Yeah, when we can. Yeah. So that was amazing there. I got some like little things too. Like I got an affirmation button.
God is in every breath I take and every choice I make.
Amen, sister. Amen. Amen.
And then I also got, have you guys seen this? And anybody that's went to CLF has seen this because Reverend Michelle did it. So, yeah, we really love that. So just got my little
We also did again this year the prayer.
Yes.
Unity.
prayer
Thank
chapel
you. The prayer chapel where they've been praying
for 127 years.
nonstop. So we got to actually sit in that room and be a part of the group that did it on Thursday morning,
Yes.
which was wonderful.
As well as being in the talent show as each other on Thursday night.
We'll post
Where
that too. Yeah,
We
you can
hope
picture.
that some people will now watch Sofa Sundays from Anton since they got to experience us as each other. So, yeah,
There were people who didn't even know it was us playing each other,
yeah, they thought it was some kind of parody. So,
Which means-
which it was, but
which is kind of nice that they would even know the sofa
right.
enough to think someone would actually do a parody of it.
And that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so I thought it was a really good time.
Yeah. So,
And I've eaten, and I've had some hot chocolate, and I've drank yours.
yes. So it didn't matter whose cup got what anyway, because you just drank both the hot chocolate.
Lyric, she's gonna need more.
I'm gonna need more hot chocolate, ladies. So, do you want to pray in? Or you want me to pray in since you're still chewing?
You do it, because I'm giggling.
Okay.
I'm too giggling.
You gotta get us in there.
Oh, did everybody do their? Did
Everybody get
do
their rocks?
intention rocks up here? Did you do your intention?
You got your rocks?
Okay. Now's a good time.
So just knowing and settling in to this space that is the divine, the knowing that is God, that is source energy, that is the collective unity, the universal effervescent joy bubble that is God, that is me, that is Michelle, that is each and every person in this room and beyond. I speak my word for the highest and best good of this time together, knowing and affirming that the revealing and healing of life, of source energy that is us, shines through. That we hear, that we say, that we reveal the things that are on our hearts, on our minds, and in our spirit. I send blessings to teachers and leaders of all faiths everywhere, of all cities, states, countries, knowing that the divine source energy is God in them, that each person is reflective of God. If we are all one, then all are God, and that this is the truth with a capital T. So blessings to each and every person, each and every animate and inanimate object, knowing that everything starts in the divine mind, creative thought, that this process is happening continuously and effortlessly to bring about peace, love, joy, beauty, wisdom for each of us. And for this, I am so grateful. I am grateful that this is already done in the divine mind. So I let it go, I call it good, and together we say, and so it is.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. So hopefully y'all had such a great week. And thank you, ladies. We have two texts today.
We do. We have Lyric, of course, our lovely Lyric Davis. And we have a special guest tech today.
We do, Miss Kendall.
Miss Kendall, one of her best, probably her bestie.
Yeah. So
She's my Lyrics bestie.
so in your mind, that's Lyric's
That's Lyric's bestie. I love that
so
girl. She's amazing.
there we go. So thank you, ladies. They've done a wonderful job today.
And I'm dropping.
And that's the mic drop, as we call it.
She's doing the mic drop.
So today you have your card. It says, I have unbreakable faith. So there is something that we did thanks to the divine Miss Ann.
Yes.
We had boxes of Sofa Sunday cards. We both auctioned off 2 boxes and 2 journals that we have done. But I also spent the week giving out cards to everybody so that they would know more about us and what we offer here at Sofa Sundays.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome that you did that. I think everybody liked that.
Everybody did like that. That was good. All right, so today's reading is on page 61, and the title is Faith. Whatever we think is the pattern, and mind is the builder. Jesus, realizing this law, said, it is done unto you, even as you have believed. And that's Ernest Holmes' Creative Mind and Success. We have access to the biggest, best library or database anywhere known. It is the divine mind.
Amen.
We know we are one with it and that we can access it whenever we choose. The divine mind is building all of it. We can experiment with the law and witness the cause and the effects. We are always thinking. You are thinking as you read and interpret these words. I am thinking as I type them. In the divine mind, the pattern of perfection is created. And in this moment, we experience it. The mind is the builder. How remarkable, as well as daunting, is this news. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Nope.
It is in motion, whether we believe it or not. Free will is the ability to think, to have faith, and therefore to manifest as we choose. Nothing to worry about. We think into the divine mind, and it returns to us that which we think. Remember, you are the thinker behind all your thoughts. Choose wisely. I have unshakable faith in the pattern of perfection and the wonders that are my world. Reverend Jeannie Sovereign's Religious Science, Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix, Arizona.
There's that Reverend Jeannie. So I love it when we read one of mine.
I do
That's-
too.
That's awesome. I love when I
It's
reread.
amazing.
I love when I reread my words and go, wow, I wrote that. Pretty cool.
You get through it and you're like, this is really pretty good. Amazing.
Who wrote
Oh, it's
that?
by me.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
I love it.
You know, one of the wonderful things this week was meeting so many of the writers
Yes.
from New Thoughts for Today. From
And letting
ANTN.
some of them know that they had been read from the Sofa. They
Yes.
didn't even know. They were like, what? Really?
Yes, Reverend Denny Ralston,
Oh,
who
Reverend
we
Denny.
read from the Villages in Florida.
We read her stuff.
We read her stuff all the time,
Yeah.
and yeah,
She didn't know.
She didn't know.
Well, now
so-
she knows.
Yes,
She knows now. We schooled her on that.
that she's one of our favorites.
One
and
of our faves.
Reverend Donna Bernier
Yes.
wasn't there, but
Oh.
I did text her on Facebook and let her know that she's another one of our favorite authors. So.
Yes, and of course Reverend Jerry
Trevor.
Trevor. We
Yes.
saw him though. He knows.
And we
He
saw,
knows.
and Reverend
And
Missy,
Missy knows.
who tunes in with
Yes,
us all the
knows.
time. So yes, it was awesome to have
That's
that.
very cool to see people like that we read from for sure. So as we look at this, coming off this weekend for sure, one of the things that was talked about a lot was our thinking and then the reflecting, right? Everything that we have experienced, everything that we see and touch around us was a thought first. So it is important to think wisely or choose wisely your thoughts because they are manifesting, whether you know it or not, whether you're thinking that way or not. No pun intended.
Yeah.
But the law just says yes, 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 yes. More of that for you.
More of that. Yes.
Yes. So, oh my goodness. And that's every second, every millisecond, every single little thing.
Which is good. Now, one of the
I'm not trying to
things.
scare everybody.
No,
Overwhelm
but
everybody.
let us talk about that a second, because consciousness is everything, right? I can't remember. I can look up which one said that one. But consciousness is everything. So it is really not just about your thought. It is about your consciousness. Because if it wasn't about your consciousness, we'd all be millionaires already, right? Okay. So it's not just about the thought that goes into the space that we're in to manifest, but also our consciousness behind that. Do we, are we connected and grounded into that part of the
What's your
consciousness?
filter?
Right.
You have a filter that is
Right.
running through all of
What's your
your
BS? Belief
Yeah.
system.
Mhm.
Belief
Mhm.
system. Just making sure.
Yes. What are you saying to yourself? What are you thinking about? Like, what are you
Right.
believing about yourself or about money or about that person or about your job or about your abilities or about if you're good enough? Like, what do you believe about that? Because your thinking that runs through that filter first, and that's what's reflected back
Right. And
in
so
your reality.
that is part of what we want to really work on within ourselves and our community, is creating higher consciousness, right? And with the higher consciousness is about this unshakable, unbreakable faith. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, right? Have you seen that? Okay, it's so funny. But that's what I thought about reading that, is like, she escapes a type of religion
Oh.
and goes into the real world. but she is such a positive person. So even when things happen in her world that you would normally be upset about, she sees the opportunity in the challenges. And I love that. And I try to be that person. There are times where, not happening, right? But it takes me some work to get to that stage of consciousness and faith.
Well, even like in my day job of being a business coach or business consultant, and we do SWOT analysis, and you want to look for any weaknesses or threats, because you can turn them all into opportunities. So you can decide which side of the coin you're going to look at them from the negative side, and then go, oh, woe is me, I just can't do it because here's this, or here's this threat, oh my goodness, I'm too scared now to do whatever. Or you can flip the coin over and say, those are opportunities there, opportunities for me to do X, Y, Z, so that in case this shows up, I'm prepared. Or like I don't have a social media presence, that's a weakness for my company. Well, the opportunity would be that I would develop a plan for that or seek help with that, or that's my opportunity to develop. So you decide which side of the coin you're going to sit on. So everything is an opportunity. Everything that comes your way, even the really bad stuff, there's always the other side of that you can look at. And sometimes it's hard to do that, especially in the exact moment. Sometimes we do get the hindsight, right? Later.
Yes.
We look back later and we go, oh, okay.
I think that's important.
But it's okay to be in the moment. So I'm never saying you can't experience or deal with it however you're dealing with it. But there's always opportunity there. There's always a way to turn it to something positive or something that's going to move you further toward the life you're trying to create. Always.
Because you don't want to sit in the pain.
No, we don't want to. We don't want to build a house there and live there.
No, that's what Dr. Bobby used to tell me.
I want to stay there.
Like, you can travel through hell, just don't buy a condo there.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes I did a lot of shopping. I had a real estate agent. I was there. I was looking for
coming out your accent.
Yeah, right. I was hanging out with Reverend Bill Marcioni this week, so my Philly accent came out a little.
Oh my
bit.
gosh, he's so funny.
He is funny.
He is funny. Yeah, but that's so we can choose, and that's a lot that's in that belief system. And sometimes, like the work, we always talk about, working on, in your practices, being present, getting yourself back to the present moment, and working on that, staying mindful of where you're going in your thinking. It's when we just let it run rampant, and we follow it around instead of that upset me. Why did that upset me? What actually happened? What would I like to have happen now? And what's my next move toward that goal? Not toward, I'm just going to run around in this awful space that's making me unhappy and let it get bigger and bigger and bigger, stick more stories direction. And more. Yeah. So instead of us being, it running us, we want to intentionally run it. We can't always control what's going to happen per se around us or know it's whatever's coming, even if we plan for things. But we certainly can control our reactions. And even if we react not how we wanted to at first, doesn't mean we can't change our reaction later and come back around to how we wanted to respond to it. Who's on there?
Reverend Missy. And
hi, Reverend Missy.
Her husband David says,
What?
There are a lot of deals in hell. Thanks, David.
My goodness.
Yep, exactly.
All right.
One of the things when you're talking about the opportunities and feeling our feelings, there is something when you spend a week at a New Thought retreat, you hear a lot about how people started their ministry or how they got into New Thought. And I'm going to tell you, there were very few that were born into it.
Right.
There were very few that they were just, shiny, hopping along people that said, oh, a New Thought church, let me go in, right? A lot of people came to New Thought through divine intervention in a space where they had lost their faith. Hi, honey, haven't seen you in forever. Yay! Good to see you. So that it was not something that where they came upon it and life was grand. They came upon it because they were hurting, because they can't find the opportunity. And then here was a space that said, let me love you. Let me show you love. Let me uplift you and bring you in because you are me. And that I saw so much of, and that like so resonated, because I feel like I found my way to New Thought in a very similar way, that I was looking for something that was going to bring a little bit more to my consciousness, to my energy. Oh, yes, Anne. Let's see if I can get a microphone to you.
Lyric. Microphone.
I know for myself and a lot of other people come to New Thought through 12-step.
No?
Right.
Show up at 12-step and they talk about, turning over your power to God as you know it. And having been raised Catholic, I had no concept for that until people started sharing New Thought about a loving God, not a vengeful God.
Yes.
Love that.
Absolutely. Yeah, there really is that difference in my faith now. Coming through the 12 steps as well. When I first got sober, my first sponsor was like, get a God you can do business with, right? And at this point, God was still outside of myself, not a unification. And I was a little bit vengeful prior to sobriety. I had a little bit of a mean streak. I'm just going to say it. And I know it's horrible to think like that person is such like a video game to me now, like when I think of it. But and one of the things God was for me that I could do business with was God was going to take care of people, not me. So I was releasing that vengeful status to God. And it got to the point that there were people that said, please don't pray for me.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm not claiming any of that, that's all, because here's the thing, right? And I will say this part is that I did see people that I might have wanted to punish previously, and me being able to turn it over to a higher power and letting that go, cause and effect are real laws. Right? When you do something, there is an effect to it. That's just whether it's good, bad, indifferent. You do something, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And so at that time period, I got to see some reactions. And, maybe more than the average person. I don't know. So that was like my first experience with, some of the laws of consciousness. And then coming into New Thought, I had always been like a Wayne Dyer fan, since I was like 19. I had read Marianne Williamson. So like there were things. And even newly sober was when Neil Donald Walsh's Conversations with God came out.
Yeah.
So that was something that was there. But it wasn't until I got to Creative Living Fellowship that I really got the teachings that made a difference in my life, that took me out of vengeful God, and into a loving, safe space of not only God, but of community.
Yeah, I love that. My experience is completely different. So I grew up in a Jewish and Catholic home. So we celebrate every holiday. And because they were very equal. No one tried to take over the other one. They just allowed everybody to be. And it's just, so I experienced lots of different faiths. I was allowed to go, any friend that I had went to church, I was allowed to go with them. It didn't matter what they were going to. Nobody cared. It was like, yeah, sure, go ahead. But my parents did not go to church every Sunday. And I had a strong desire, and I would beg to take me to church. Somebody take me to church. So if I did have a friend that was going to church on a Sunday, I wanted to go. I wanted to go to your kids' church or your youth group or whatever it was. And I did get my parents to go for a little bit of time. And my grandfather, who was Jewish, actually went with us for a period of time. And it happened to be First Church Religious Science here. So I did have an experience when I was about lyrics age, about middle school age. And there was they put me in the youth group there. And they were beginning to read the book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull, which they gave me the copy. It makes me want to cry to this day whenever I think about that book. And I took it home with me. I was so excited, and we never went back.
Oh.
My parents never went back. They all loved it. I thought we found a place. And then they just didn't want to do that on a Sunday. They just wanted to, I don't know, my dad wanted to play golf, and my mom wanted to, I don't know why you want to clean the house, but she wanted to do that. I don't know. And I would say, are we going to church this morning? Oh, no, honey, your dad went. No, he's playing golf and this and that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember at one point they even bought a big Bible, a really big Bible. I don't know if they thought that was going to be cool. And they said, look, we're just going to have church at home. And then you can pick what we read and whatever. And then we'll do this. And I remember thinking to myself, this is not what I'm talking. I don't want to lead a church. I want to go to church. I want to go.
And now what do you do?
I know. It's so funny. So it was always that part of me that always had this desire so much. And as I grew, and I had a lot of siblings, as soon as I could drive a car, I would head over to where my older siblings went to church in Mesa, and I started going to their churches. And I was older then, so there was no youth group. I was sitting in the main church, and then I took over their youth group for a while. And so it was just always this little thing in me that I was just hungry for some kind of connection there, And then fast forward years later, where I'm married now, and I've come, moved out of the valley, come back to the valley. I'm doing nails, and lo and behold, who starts getting her nails done with me? But Reverend Dr. Michelle Winnington. And we started having these different conversations. And at this point, I had pretty much heavily just gone into being a Christian, because all my family the older family was my older siblings were all Christians. All my other siblings are all Christians. And I had gone the Jewish route and felt that it was just easier just to be a Christian, because everybody else was. It was just easier to do that. And that way I belonged, right? They all were really happy that I was a part of that. So, but I didn't believe it didn't all make sense to me, and I couldn't get it to make sense to me. But doing Michelle's nails, she finds out I'm a singer. She goes, oh, you sing? Yeah, well, how about you, we hire singers to sing on Sundays. We do this, we have solos. I go, I'd never charge a church to sing. If you want me to come sing, I'll come sing. She goes, no, we want professionals, so we would have to pay you, because this is what we do as a church. I'm like, okay, I'll just tithe it back. It doesn't matter. So I wind up showing up to sing. And when you sing at a church, you sit through both services. So I sat through watching Michelle, which bothered me, because in the Christian world, women aren't leaders. They don't at that
As
time.
much, yeah.
At that time. Now it's more common, but back then it was really uncomfortable to watch a woman speak like that. So I couldn't hear her for a period of time, because I kept judging that. But they kept asking me to come back to sing. So the more I come back to sing, the more I'm sitting there. And eventually I started hearing what she had to say, and I started going, well, that's really funny, because that's how I think about that. Oh, well, that's interesting. That's exactly what I thought too. Huh. And then I started hearing more and more, and I started listening more and more. And then the songs they'd ask me to sing, I'd be like, yeah, this is what I feel. That's weird. This is exactly what I think and exactly how I feel. And then I realized, oh my goodness, that this is what I want. This is my place. This is where I belong.
Yeah.
And it was really hard for me to let go of the Christian world, because of the whole you're going to hell thing. So I thought, if I release that and say this is what I think, then I'm going to go to hell now. But I resolved that too, because I realized that none of that made sense either. And I went on my path, and I took my 15-year-old son, who's now 32 years old, with me, and we went to Foundations, and the rest is history, and here I am today. But it was, just such a weird thing. And somewhere along the way, I think you do, have you ever listened to somebody talking and you just know they're speaking truth?
Right.
You just feel it. Even if it's not what you studied, I didn't study that, but I knew what she was saying to me. I could just hear. Are they making noise? Shh. Yeah. You guys not now. But I could just feel that in my gut, in my heart and in my gut. I knew like this was the real thing and I had to know more. And the more I knew, the more I was just hungry and hungry. And that's what I've been looking for my whole life. And I think that's why when I'd gone to that one church and why the book Jonathan Livingston Seagull still upsets me because I knew then that this mat, I felt it then.
Right.
And then I just couldn't get a hold of it. And then once I became an adult, it was like, no one's stopping me now. I can drive, I make my own choices, I can show up. I actually had a friend that said, she goes, well, how come you're, I said, I'd love to come here every Sunday. And she said, well, why don't you? And I said, well, because I'm busy. And I started sounding like my mother. And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I can't. And I don't think I missed a Sunday after that.
And that is an amazing thing too, right? When we think about retreat or resting and knowing that we have to do that for ourselves, right? There is that time period throughout the week where we do our 9 to 5 or whatever it is that we're calling our daily lives, that we have these certain goals we hit or whatever. And then, something has to happen for us to have that time period where we say, okay, here's where I'm going to spend for me in whatever way. I'm not saying that it has to be a church situation, but you have to do something to feed your soul, whether it's art or dance but something. And I feel like it should be something in community so that you can share that soul feeling. But that's me. Not everybody feels that way. Some people like to be out in the forest and alone experiencing that. So whatever feeds your soul, your spirit, that, if you can get it every day, awesome. However, you should get it at least once a week, to have that experience.
And I think it can hold you through, like we still say that, like Sunday, going to church on Sunday would hold me till about Thursday. And then that other part, that old pattern started coming out. I could recognize the shift starting to happen. Like, I need to get back to Sunday, because I started to get it started to really change the way my week was going too. So for my mom to say, well, we're not going today because this is like her day to do all this stuff. As an adult going to church on Sundays, I started recognizing that it's actually the Sunday that creates the week to flow correctly. Going to church caused my week to be completely different and actually enjoyable. And I moved through it in a different way, instead of saying, well, I have this whole week and now I need my weekend to recover or to get all the other stuff caught up or whatever. It was actually taking that time away and having Sunday be that part where you just nourished your spirit. Right. Everything else then aligned so differently, so much better and differently anyway. I didn't feel like I needed that break. I felt like I needed more. I needed to get back to Sunday, get another hit. Right. Because I started feeling like.
And that's the purpose of spiritual practices too, right? Our spiritual practices during the day. Like I noticed during the retreat, I would do the meditation. So it was a guided meditation with other people. So you're getting that energy in the Fillmore Chapel, which is, where Charles Fillmore was, so there's that level of thing. But having that half hour, in community, and that really set the tone for me. And I don't always take that time during the day for myself because I like to sleep in and, and I've got to do blah, 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 or whatever.
Right.
So again, when there wasn't this opportunity to really focus on my spiritual practices a little bit more, I was aware of how much different my day would go and how I felt. So
it's a completely different day. Yeah. Compared to a day that you don't start with spirit, you don't is completely different than a day you do. 100% different. You even remember your check-ins all day. You even remember your mindfulness all day. If you start your morning off in communion with spirit, the whole rest of the day runs. It's just a different day.
And again, however that is for you.
Right. Everybody's got their own way.
It doesn't necessarily have to be
music. It could just be some great music.
Music was great today too.
Right? I know. Aw.
Anything Posy was
Are you
awesome
so enjoying
today.
doing that? That's so cool. I can just
Yeah.
see you light up as soon as we bring it up.
Yeah, I love that.
Tell them what it is. Tell them what it is.
So I posted in our Facebook group. It's called Anything Posy, and Brian has a podcast that is done on Sundays, and I share it as soon as it comes up on my feed. And that's what I listen to when I get ready. Sofa Sundays, and
he's one of our spiritual church club partners.
yes, and he has and this podcast is amazing, and you can find it. I post it here, but it's also on the New Thought page, correct? And what is the name of the app? I have the app.
And he had a calling, like, positive music doesn't just have to be
Right.
whoa,
Right.
Like,
It doesn't.
like,
Right.
yeah,
It doesn't have to
some-
be just what we hear in church and stuff.
Right.
The app is called Mixcloud, and you can find it on Mixcloud as well, and that's what I listen to it on.
Anyway, we're very proud of you for that.
Yes, we
love
are.
That you love
Yes.
that you had that feeling and then you did something about it. I love that.
Exactly.
Is it mix or mix?
MIX. Mixcloud, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they have other people besides Brian, but
But
I only listen to
just
Brian.
watch Brian.
I just listen to Brian.
We only want Brian.
So, but music is a major
That's a great
shift
tool. Great tool.
of that. And sound in general, not just music, but sound in general with, we were talking earlier with Kendall, she was saying that her mom does sound healing and,
Oh, nice,
and crystal
yes.
bowls and stuff. And, would do drum circles and
That's
Native
so cool.
American flute and whatever it is that will, change that vibration. Because a lot of times words don't do it, right? Like words don't always do it. Is that me?
Oh,
Sorry about
nice.
that.
That's kind of cool. I like it.
That's you haven't noticed. Where sound and vibration can change it, to be able to go forward and move that energy through us.
Yeah. So find what it is, find what that is, so that when you need it or actually get ahead of it if you can. Make
Right,
it part of
yeah.
your daily practice, nourish yourself, I think, as much as possible. That's, to me, I love that. I love that whole idea around, finding something that you needed more of and then you just go create it for yourself.
That's right.
Like you said,
That's how you
it's not
do it.
out there, I'm just going to make it for myself.
There you go.
Darn
Make it happen.
Right. What else were you saying on this? I love this reading that you said. I love that you said ignorance of the law is no excuse. It is an emotion whether we believe it or not.
How many times during practitioner training were we told that one?
I know.
I mean, it's, and people will say that too. Well, I don't believe that. Well, you know what? Lightning doesn't care if you believe in it or not. You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is.
Right.
That's just what it is. It's like you can have a belief or not believe, but,
Right.
the gravity works either way.
Right. It goes. And the law does that. It's done unto you, whatever you're believing. That's what you said what Jesus
Right.
said. It's done unto you as you believe. So however you are believing, and the things that if you find yourself in a space of believing that's not serving you, so it's not in alignment with what you're trying to create for your life, and you're like, why am I feeling like this? I don't want to feel like that kind of music, meditation, time with spirit, working on these practices, checking your emotions and recognizing when you've left the present moment and getting yourself back there and finding when, what's my move from the present, not from all these emotions. Just changing little things like that, you will start to change that belief system. Affirmations like this one, I have unbreakable faith, which should have been I have unshakable faith.
But either way,
Anything like
unbreakable or
that,
unshakable.
they work. But that's the kind of stuff, if you recognize that you have moments where you're not believing in what you're saying or what you're trying to do or what you want, how you want to be believing, and that's operating underneath everything you're trying to do. So the moment that I think our reactions can give us a lot of clues. So when somebody does something and you react in a negative way, to me, that's like a hello, woo,
A little flag.
woo. Something is still running underneath there. You may be doing the work, but something is operating underneath there. What is
Some
it?
training, guys.
Yes, what is it? And so these are the ways, these practices are the ways that we can help that to move out, that get out of our filter so that it's not affecting everything we're trying to accomplish,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Reverend Missy says sound carries consciousness and is conscious. So
Oh, I
Missy is a
love
sound
it.
healer. She's written a book on sound, and so that is something that speaks to her and
Yeah,
she participates in on that.
I know how it feels when I go to, there's a sound, trying to think what they call it, sound something. Anyway, they do that. They'll bring in all the bowls, and then there's like the room sells out. Yeah, she has singing bowls, and she has a gong, and she has. I'm trying to think what else she has, but it sells out. Like if you don't pre-register to get, you're not getting in.
not getting in.
You're not getting in. So that's just telling you how many
Right.
people. But when I get to go to that, you can just feel it.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
That vibration.
The
just
change in
Yeah.
how your system is working. So like whatever you need to do, if you're finding areas in life where you're either not able to manifest what you want, most likely there's something operating against you underneath in your subconscious, and that needs to be cleared out or worked on so that you can change that, whatever that belief is, that limiting belief doesn't belong there. It's got to go,
It's got to go.
right? And it's always a practice, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm always working on stuff.
Always working on something.
They still come up every time you try. Like I was walking on the labyrinth, and I'm trying to be, in my moment, and I'm worrying about what the other person walking the labyrinth is thinking about what I'm doing. It's like what? They don't care.
They don't care about
They
it.
don't care,
Yeah.
Michelle. They're not even looking at you. Stop it. The breeze comes, and I want to put my arms out and feel the breeze. I'm like, oh no, that looks kind of weird. Like to who? What? They're not. Their eyes are closed. They don't care. Put your arms out if you like the breeze. Put your arms out if you want to smile. If you want to look around, like whatever. If I want to walk backwards, like knock it. Like stop.
Yeah.
Come back to this moment. You're in the labyrinth, for crying out loud. I had to self-check. I was telling you, I had to self-check at every turn of the labyrinth. Like, are you present? What are you doing? What are you thinking about? Stop it. Let's get back. I had to constantly redirect because my mind kept going to what other people were thinking about. And that's a huge awareness for me because that's silly.
Right. And it's not where you want to be.
I'm not where I want to
Yeah.
be. And that's
Yeah,
unnecessary.
Yeah.
And everything that I'm doing, that's unnecessary to worry about what anybody else thinks about what I'm doing. That's really unnecessary.
That's a normal thing
It
that
is.
people
It's
do.
common
right?
thing.
And so
Mhm.
as we, stay in our
hindrance.
practice and and we become more and more aware that who we are is perfect just as we are, that authenticity, then I think that, we start to let go of a little bit. Like we were talking about this beforehand and stuff that, for me, I've gotten now so used to seeing myself on video that I'm real aware of what I look like, right? So the judgment I had 2 years ago about seeing myself on video is very different than the judgment I have now. Now there's so much less judgment of, what my hair looks like, what my body looks like, whatever it is. I was telling Michelle, now I'll point it out to everybody, but my smile's a little crooked. And
I never noticed that.
And she said, I never noticed it.
I never
And,
noticed that.
so for me, that was the only thing I noticed. Like I couldn't get past this flaw thing that I saw. And then there was this, I don't know, magic moment time where I noticed I was no longer noticing it.
So cool.
And I was like, wow, okay. And, but so I know that social media, especially for younger people, has become a big competitive or comparison type of thing. For me, it became a level of acceptance that, here's who I am. This is it, right? And this vehicle that I am in has gotten me through so much.
I know.
Right? I mean, this vehicle
I know.
does its best every day. And some days that's great. Like Dakota and I walked 2.5 miles while we were
Oh my
there.
God.
It did take 3.5
They walked
hours.
but
But-
we walked for 3 hours.
You know, so like,
Crazy.
hey, but we did it. You know, it just,
I'm just gonna
that's
say
gonna be,
no to walking. If
Right.
they ever ask me to go walk with them, I'm just gonna say no.
we were flying a drone too and stopping. But
Walking for 3 hours.
But the whole fact that these vehicles that we're in, these bodies have done so much for us. And yes, sometimes they have pain and sometimes they don't do what they're supposed to do. Yet we're still here. Right?
And thank God for these bodies.
Right.
And
We
this,
wake up with
mine
this
is my neck
level.
or whatever. Like, you know, it's like, and then I go, well, okay.
Oh, what would happen
Like,
if you didn't have
Yeah,
it?
like thank God for it. Like knock it off. You know, like
It is what
nobody
it
cares,
is.
Michelle. Nobody cares.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like if
Nobody
I would
cares.
never judge another human being's body the way I used to judge mine.
Yes.
Never. I mean,
I don't care.
wouldn't even think about it. And now so I'm like, okay, treat me like I treat you.
I know.
You know, with that. And that knowing that gave me confidence. Right? Because now it's about who I am on the
Yes.
that's what they
What?
said there. That was one I loved. It was about not the spirit in the body, but the body in the spirit. And
Oh, hold on. Unpack that one more time. Say
Yeah,
it. Say it again.
so-
Hold on. We got
yeah,
Yes,
not the spirit in
yes.
here, but this body is in the spirit. So, and I think it was
So
Tara that
good.
talked about the breathing and the air. Yeah, I am breathed. And that is what our bodies are. They're in this
Yes.
divineness all together. So
So how
yeah,
can we judge it?
right.
Just let it be.
It is what it is.
Just let it be and let it go.
Yeah.
So like that. That's
Yeah.
but if we have work in that area, then
Then we do.
as long I just think thank God for the awareness so that we can
Mhm.
work on it and not just like let it run our lives unknowing.
Right.
know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Right. I want to do the best I can to take care of what I have.
Yes.
I'm not saying not to do that,
right.
but I'm also not going to judge what is. It's already here.
Yes, yes,
You
love
know,
it.
so love it for who it is and how it is
and all that
right
it's
now.
done, like it's been
Yeah.
like when you said
Yeah.
that, it's like all that.
Yeah,
your
my body
has
has done a lot. Yeah, so you know, the 21st of this month is 5 years since my cancer. Is it not my cancer? That,
Oh no,
but
bye.
it's gone.
Yes.
You know, but it's been 5 years since I
Yeah.
had the cancer removed from my lung, and you know that's an amazing thing to me.
Yeah.
You know that, and what has happened over this last 5 years, and how I had such an awareness of who I am in spirit over the last 5 years because of it.
Right.
You know, it really did
Right.
wake me up.
And we get the benefit of that.
I know.
There you go. Thank you.
I know. It's interesting. These like cancer would say we bad word, don't like it or whatever. But I think I've told a story of something similar to this before from the sofa. But like when my grandfather was diagnosed with that, the whole reason why he and I got to have a relationship was because of that.
Right.
So when I think of that, I don't necessarily think of it in a negative sense. I mean, I don't want anybody to have
No.
it. I don't want anybody to suffer through it. I don't want anybody to go through that. But because of that, I had something I would not have had he died of a heart attack. And I wouldn't even have known I didn't have.
Right.
But because of that, I got to have something that was so special that in my mind it was worth it. It was worth that.
And I'm
because of
sure
what
he
I
felt
got.
that
And
too.
I know he did
Yeah.
because he and I had we only had 3 months, but it was like the most amazing. I'm 50 something years old. This was when I was 16 years old. And it's still a profound moment of my life was those little 3 months that I got as a gift from cancer.
And there's the, honey.
Yeah.
And there's the thing, right? It's like there is, for me, that is one of my gifts. You know, I did see that opportunity and that challenge was, okay, so if tomorrow is the day that I'm not going to be here, what can I do today?
Yeah.
And so for the last 5 years, that really has been a thing that I have operated in, because I don't know,
Right. And none of us know.
Right.
I just found out Friday that I lost a friend of mine to cancer on Sunday, unexpected, because we thought for sure if anybody was going to beat it, it'd be her. And she did not. She had complications to it, and they couldn't stop it. And she was only in her 40s, at least behind 3 children. So it's a horrible thing. And it made me go, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like this, no more, no playing small, no, like everything that I got from the week at ANTN, all the things notes I took and stuff, it's like, you're acting on those things. You're not sitting around because you might not have tomorrow. What are you doing? You're acting like you have all this time. I know she thought she had plenty of time. And we don't know. Nobody told us the date.
Yeah.
So we need to act on things. If there's something in your heart right now that you want to do or have or be, you have got to do that right now. You have to make the moves right now. Stop waiting. Stop being afraid. Stop letting that belief system be like, no, what's against it? This is against it. Now I'm going to go work on whatever that is to get rid of it so I can move forward toward the thing I want. Like, let's go get it.
And I think that's a Wayne Dyer quote, don't die with the music still in you.
Don't do that. Oh.
Yeah. And speaking of musical people that have transitioned, our friend John Halliburton transitioned this week. And so I wanted to share that with the CLF people and stuff. And,
and you will post it when the memorial.
When we'll have the memorial. I actually think it's going to be next weekend, but I will let you all know.
Please pay attention to the feed if you don't know another way to get the information.
Right. But John was my prayer partner in practitioners with CLF. So, and for those that were at,
he's one of the founding members, wasn't he? One of the original crew that founded CLF. Originally left First Church with
Mary Jane Hyde.
Thank you, Mary Jane, and the whole crew that left, and they were I think the 9. Was it 9?
Something like that.
Or 13 or something? That were the ones that said, let's make our own church, and that's how.
And he was a
starters of our whole path.
He sang opera.
Yes.
Was it? Yes.
He had a beautiful voice.
Quite a deep voice.
Yes, beautiful.
Yeah. And for those of you that were at Christmas Eve, John did come to Christmas Eve service, our candlelight service. So, and he was very grateful that we gave chocolate. Yes, he was very happy that there was chocolate that kept him awake for our service. I said, "Thank you, John." Thank you for that.
So cute.
Yeah,
he was always a very nice man.
Yeah,
he was a very nice man.
It could be a bit of a curmudgeon, but
that's okay. That's okay.
Authenticity, people.
Yes, that's right. Be who you are.
Be who you are. Yeah.
Right. I know.
All right. Well,
I know.
Anybody have anything about faith, about life, about what you're going to do and motivated to do?
Come on, Lyric's ready with the microphone. She's ready.
She's ready.
Somebody, anyone? No?
I'm
not thinking
okay. We're good? Okay. You're complete today. All right.
You're like, we feel complete.
They're like, man, that was a lot of
It's the new stoles.
It's it.
It's the new stoles. They just don't even know.
Yeah. She made me wear it today. So, yeah.
We're going to wear it forever. We're going to wear it every day forever.
Every day.
Love it. I love it. It's got our names on it. It has our new logo.
Right? You see, she's got fringe, right?
I had to have fringe.
She had to have fringe. I was like,
now, who is the flashy one now, huh?
Right? I said, I have 5 cats. This is going to hang in my house. There is no fringe happening. No fringe.
Sorry, mine's prettier.
Yes, she has a pretty fringe. Yeah.
Who made it for us? I just followed the link that Michelle gave me.
Yeah, there's a place.
Why not here?
Yes,
Yeah,
they do it. So if anybody wants the link, I'm happy to send it. They do it for most of the New Thought ministers. Use this group, and they did it. So
it was so quick. Yeah, it was like in a week.
I had them in a week.
She got them. We wanted to make sure we had them for her
ordination,
so that I was able to stole her.
Yes.
Yes.
She did, and she was so
Good.
kind.
That was
I know.
very
Special.
cool.
We had special moments.
Yes.
Michelle, Reverend Dr. Michelle got to hood me,
Mhm.
and then you got to give me my stole.
Right? All these words don't sound as beautiful as they are, do they, right? Like, she got hooded and somebody stole her. Okay. They sound like a crime, but they were actually very beautiful.
Very, very beautiful.
Very
moments.
beautiful.
Yes.
Yes.
Very beautiful week. Yeah. Okay.
All righty. Let's see.
I breathe deeply and feel peace in my heart.
There you go.
She said, I breathe
I
deep.
am loved.
Okay, calm down.
She had a lot to say.
That was a long one. She said,
Yeah.
I breathe deeply.
She says, I feel, I breathe deep. I don't know. Let's get another one.
Each day is a new beginning. Every day I learn and grow.
Each day is a new beginning. Every day I learn and grow.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
So this is my,
She's
I
a little-
love
she's
this.
A little aggressive.
I love this. We want to make some for you guys for
Yeah, we're going to do our affirmations.
our
on one.
affirmations.
Wouldn't that be
That sounds
fun?
like a great idea, doesn't it?
She was just a little bit wild.
Yeah, we're a little marketing.
But I like her. We're a little marketing.
We're a little marketing.
We have to have fun up here.
Right,
We have to be- We are
exactly.
being authentic.
So we are.
My husband says I'm a little, what does he call me? Not cheesy, but goofy or something like that. I'm like,
Well, that is
be me
that is true.
sometimes. When I'm
All
not
right.
serious.
All right, you ready?
Oh, yes, I think so. All right, let's breathe in this wonderful moment. Let's do it again. Breathe in this moment together. We recognize there's one power, one presence, one life. There's only one. It is the love, the joy, the peace that is in each and every one of us. It is all there is. We're each that love, that joy, that peace, manifested our own unique way. And from that place, from my knowing, from my truth of who and whose I am, I speak my word, affirming that as each one of us takes what is ours to take from our time this morning, as we allow ourselves to hear the words, to feel the connection, as we allow ourselves to practice, be aware of ourselves, our thinkings, our beliefs, we move toward our abilities, our desires, and create that life, create that experience, the life that we love. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the awarenesses that have come up this morning. I'm so grateful for the sharing, the ideas. And so I let them go, knowing that they've done their job. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you.
Whoop, whoop.
How can
Prayer
I
feels
support
like a
you?
short nap.
Oh, thank you.
What you gonna say? You want a short?
I said
said
a good prayer feels like waking up from a short
You know, you're so funny because I was just in my mind thinking to myself, I feel like I just could take a nap.
Right, there you
That's
go.
so funny, Tara. You and I both thought the same thing.
So Anne asked how she can support us.
Oh, I was thinking about a nap with Tara, but okay.
Okay. Well, there we go.
Tara and I are both thinking about,
Rest.
I think we're gonna take naps later, but yes, how can we be
How can we be supported? Well, there's a couple of ways, and one of the best ways right here, right now, especially if you're watching us on YouTube or Instagram, like and subscribe. Share us with your friends. Invite your friends to watch.
check it
And
out? Say, check
Check
this out.
this
You should
out.
check this out. That's what you should say. It's so easy.
Exactly. It is so easy. And also, if you're in the room, bring a friend with you. Bring a friend. Have a
Lyric brought
friend.
her friend.
That's right.
Good job, Lyric.
Good job,
Lyric.
Yeah.
And brought her friend.
There you go. Bring a friend, right? Bring a friend. So the other way you can support us is go online to beginwithinministries.com. You can support us financially with a one-time donation, or you can support us by becoming a monthly spiritual church club partner. And that's $45 a month individually or $75 for a couple or family. And this helps support us in the different things that we do here as a ministry, in our cards, and
Right, that's how we do our
Right,
weekly
that's how we do our
affirmation cards.
Oh, we didn't hand out books today. That's why nobody was reading along.
Well,
Oh, Lord.
there it is.
There it is.
And we create these mugs with our logos that everybody gets if they're a
And you
partner.
will get a name tag as
Yes,
well.
yes, our
And
name
so we
tags. And
appreciate.
the classes, and we have a new class coming up.
We do.
And I will tell you that if you become a spiritual church club partner, it will actually be less for you just to do that
Right.
and get
And
the
get the class for free.
and then you get the class for free. So it's kind
There
of
you go.
It's a good deal.
So this class will actually start in November. It's called Humor, Hope, Hugs, and Hummus. And it is an in-person class because of the hugs and hummus,
That's
people.
right.
I'm just going to be honest with you. You got to be here to experience it.
Just the
So,
way it is. Yeah.
It will be 3 weeks in November, but the last week in November, it will not be because I am in Prescott speaking. So it'll be the first week in December for the 4th class.
All right. So,
Yeah, and I did change that online and in
Okay.
your registration.
So you would get that for free, plus the mug, plus your Sofa Sundays charm. Plus
yes.
your, I mean, like, come on.
There's so much. There's
And you're
so
supporting
much.
this community so that we can grow and give more things to our partners.
Yes.
So that's what we want. We want to
So-
be doing more and more stuff.
Exactly. So we so appreciate it. And we
Yeah.
appreciate you watching today and commenting and being a part of our community.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank
we love
you.
doing this. We love seeing all of you and being with all of you.
And we're so appreciative. So we're going to say goodbye now and hope that our tech comes up to turn us off.
No, but she's
Bye.
a very slow walker.
She is a
Bye-bye.
slow walker.
She's distracted.
Yes. Where is it? Well,
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.